Hello and welcome to this Ice of Harmony Doctor Who podcast. I accidentally already did the opening, but realised we weren't recording. Yeah, so on this channel we talk about Doctor Who. You might have guessed. In the description below will be kind of jump points which you can kind of jump to depending on topic. If you're interested in something, if you're not interested in something, you can jump about. Do what you like. You're a time traveler. Hey, nice. So I guess the coolest and basically only news this week is the new kind of multi-Doctor Big Finish story, but not just classic crossing classic. It's now classic crossing New Who with David Tennant meeting Tom Baker, which is freaking sick.
Yeah.
And the artwork is awesome.
This is the fastest I've ever pre-ordered anything for Big Finish. It's just like I saw Nick sent me a picture of the cover. I saw it on Twitter, and I'm just like, following the link. I'm getting this now.
It looks sick, doesn't it?
I need it.
I love how even in the background they've got like the two different time vortexes like behind each one of them, and it's cool. I'm wondering if this is at the same time as the Stolen Earth, because I mean we've got the Earth behind the 10th Doctor in the picture. And I mean, we've got the red Dalek, the Imperial Dalek, I think, is what it's called.
We got the Supreme.
That's it.
Yeah.
I wonder. But yeah, it looks freaking awesome. Just those two next to each other. It's like,
we don't know anything about it.
It's impossible, like seeing those two actors at that age next to each other. But just seeing it actually on screen is just freaking sick. Like. That's the coolest thing about Doctor Who, like, they're meeting their younger selves, and like even the actors kind of, you'd imagine young Tom Baker.
This is like just two of the most important like growing up doctors just like being like doing a thing together. It's like I need this so much. I need this.
It is. I'm definitely gonna pre-order this. Probably when I can find the bundle version.
I found the bundle.
There we go.
You go to the outer time. You go to like the one, and then there's a bundle selection in green underneath, and then you can choose a bundle from there. Nice. Oh, actually, it's in blue. Sorry, but there's a bundle.
Coolsies. But it's insane to see, like, just seeing those two next to each other. It's like, wow. And there's gonna be more. Oh yeah, bundles. I see it. Oh damn it, idiot. Yeah, it looks so awesome. Funny enough, Out of Time is a name which I used for a short film which I made for uni, which was about Mary Shelley. So I mean, it's all kind of connected, isn't it? Last series was Mary Shelley. Now they're using my name. I think they're stalking me, man. I'm getting a bit worried here.
You can see what to you. I was in that, and I had like massive bags under my eyes.
Yes, you're a tired bartender who was dead inside. It was basically the yeah. I guess that was a fun
just like in real life.
Yeah, you don't have to act much. You just went back to your retail experience days. Oh god. Ugh, retail.
I'm still there, so.
Oh man, they're not.
But
fun.
I feel like now.
But yeah, so they've stolen my name. they just I don't know what's going on here. I'm worried. I think my walls have been.
How long
tapped.
till they own you?
I know. I'm gonna appear in an episode somehow. I'm like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? But yeah. Okay. Okay. So we got like an about of it. So
yeah, there was a.
Yeah. So the Cathedral of Contemplation is an enigma existing outside time. It turns through history, opening its doors across the universe to offer solace to those in need. That's a pretty cool idea. Occasionally, the Doctor drops in when he's avoiding his destiny. It's the ideal place to get some perspective. Only he's already had several lives earlier. So the dimension barriers break down, his past and present collide. Oh, that's cool. And when the Daleks invade, and the commander and commandeer the cathedral, two Doctors must unite to stop them, or face extermination twice over. Awesome. That's very cool.
It's a great concept.
Is this part of Time Lord Victorious?
No.
Well, it's interesting though because it's like when the Doctor's dodging his destiny, so it must be set at that
Yeah.
point at least.
Well, for the 10th Doctor.
Interesting. So yeah, the other two kind of things about this. Oh, they recorded it remotely. That's cool.
Oh, for this one.
Under backstage, yeah, it says recorded on the 26th and 4th.
Okay. Because I know they
2020.
did one with that, which they released with Tom Baker and Louise Jameson. I don't know this one would be. That is cool.
That's epic. But yeah, there's two more apparently. So there's Out of Time 2, Out of Time 3. They're doing sequels to
Yeah.
my film, and I don't like it. I didn't give them the rights. They didn't buy the rights. So this is.
But the idea is that they'll be like with different doctors, different combinations of doctors. So it'd be interesting to see because, like, I don't think you'd be able to do many more like modern Doctor Who crossovers, considering none of the other modern Doctors, John Hurt aside, although he can't, of course, do it now.
Why? Why can't John Hurt do it?
Oh, I don't know. Are doing Big Finish stuff. So like, I don't know quite what they do then, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think Matt Smith will come and do some eventually. I can't. I don't.
I can.
I don't
maybe
see Matt.
it.
Yeah, I can
think
see
he's-
Matt Smith doing it eventually.
Yeah.
I think maybe give him another couple years, and then they
Mm.
might get him in for one or two.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a 60-minute episode.
Mm.
60 glorious minutes.
Yeah.
Of two lovely tones in my ears. I'm surprised that David Tennant still does Doctor Who. Especially
Oh
as,
yeah.
like getting typecast and that kind of thing.
Mm.
I guess.
Well,
to be
no,
honest,
he's branched out a lot.
he really
so,
has,
I mean,
hasn't he? At this point, because he went off. He's done like Jessica Jones. He did Good Omens, which I need to watch.
Mm.
He looks great in that actually. He's
he did an important role in Postman Pat the movie.
he was also he was a villain in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
It's quite weird actually. He's played quite a lot of villains
has.
since.
He's really good at it.
He's great at villains. I mean, him as the Purple Man in Jessica Jones is unbelievably good. He is crazy intimidating because just his powers alone, like he can control anyone just by saying it. Like because he lets out these like pheromones, which just make people just. That's how they explained it in the series. It made sense, in that kind of world, and yeah, you could make people kind of do anything he wants. So it's crazy, and is awesome in it, and he looks great in like the purple suit as well. Just very intimidating. And it's amazing that he could do the Doctor, who's this lovely, charming guy, But I mean, I think if they do a 60th and they do a multi-Doctor story, I think David will come back.
Oh yeah, he'll be.
I wonder who else, or will they just do Jodie and the 10th, or will it even be Jodie? Could be another Doctor by then, actually.
I mean, Jodie could be there, but maybe it'll be another Doctor as the main Doctor.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
Interesting one. I wonder if Matt Smith would come back for that, a multi-Doctor. I think he would because
I think Matt Smith would.
Because I think he did because people came back for his. I think he'd feel like I have, it's my right to come back and do it when it's someone else's run.
Well,
as well.
yeah, I don't think he's quite as closely tied to the whole thing as David Tennant, maybe, but certainly he enjoyed doing the role, and
Oh, definitely. I mean, I remember when he was on stage at the 50th thing, and he was talking about it kind of being over. You could tell he was a bit actually. I made a mistake, kind of thing, leaving when he did. I think he wanted maybe to do one more season. And I kind of wish he had after the 50th. I think it would have been a better round off.
Yeah.
A build up to Time of a Doctor rather than straight away Gallifrey's foul. I think it would have been better with a slight build up.
What about
See that one.
Capaldi?
I mean, I love Capaldi anyway.
I think he would be probably happy to do it. He's such a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, both Capaldi and David Tennant were both,
Mm,
fans of the show.
yeah.
As well when they were younger. I mean, Capaldi was obviously, I think, relatively. I know he would have been about.
No, he was like, I think, head of a fan club and everything. Like he
Oh
was.
no, yeah, he wrote into the. I can't remember. There's like a annual or something with him in it, or
Yeah.
something. Like I remember Graham Norton brought it out on his show or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
No, he was a yeah.
He was a big fan,
Massive
which was
fan.
so. Yeah, I think he just needed a break after he obviously finished. But
Oh, of course.
it's been a while now, and you're doing one special, and that's it. So I don't know. I wonder even if Christopher Eccleston. Who knows for that guy?
Difficult to say, isn't it? Because you never quite know with him, do you? He wasn't like, I mean, we're mentioning about Big Finish. He was. I think he said in an interview he wasn't like opposed to doing something like that. I don't know about the 60th though.
I mean, his qualms were with the production team, really. That
Well, and the BBC as a whole to a certain extent because of the fallout from the whole thing.
yeah, because he basically said he was gonna leave, and then they're like, "We're not might hire you again," wasn't it? Like along those lines or something.
Well, he got blacklisted. His agent was like, "You got to go to Hollywood because you're not going to get work here anymore."
Yikes.
So he did the rounds in the US for a bit, didn't really work out, and now he's steadily getting work here in the UK again. Like, what was the thing? He was in something recently. I can't.
I mean, he's done a couple of things. I know he did The Borrowers with
on.
BBC, though. I swear.
Yeah, no, he's done some.
So clearly not completely blacklisted.
Well, not anymore. No, but no, he's in.
I mean, yeah.
I can't.
Here we go. I've got his IMDb. The A Word is something he did.
Oh,
recently.
that was it. Yeah. Like, because I saw people bringing that up on Twitter a bit.
Ah. I wonder. There's new episodes this series. Maurice Scott he plays. That's BBC.
Yeah, I mean he's doing things with them now. I mean that in terms of that, the actor's being buried. But...
Yeah, I think. I think it'd be. He'd potentially get. I mean, there's nothing with the
We'll see.
BBC, which is the issue now. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Guess
Well,
we'll
who knows? Who knows?
see. Wow, he's done so much.
He really has.
What a guy! What an actor. He's great in 28 Days Later. Actually, he's awesome in that. Really great film. I need to watch it again. Actually, so good. But yeah, so it would be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, he looks a lot older now.
Yeah.
So
But they've brought up reasons for that in the past.
yeah,
He had
it'd
the
be
whole
interesting.
time crash
I mean, he
thing.
actually, he went with meetings with Stephen Moffat to see about the
Yeah.
50th. So he'll at least attend meetings,
Oh yeah.
for it. Which will be. He's willing. He's not like opposed completely. I guess to it. I guess it had to be the
No.
right story, and maybe at least a cameo appearance or something. Just like a. A bit like how
Maybe.
the first Doctor in the Three Doctors was just kind of in the TV screen. Maybe he could be
Yeah.
like that kind of capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think the more Doctors you have, the more you've got to juggle with over, like hour 20 story, I guess. That's how long
Yeah.
the 50th was, wasn't it? It was about an hour 20,
Mhm.
wasn't it? So it's like you can't have too many Doctors in there, I guess, because if you have, the current Doctor who's there then, I guess Jodie, maybe David Tennant, that's already 3, which is about what the 50th worked with, which it worked pretty well with just kind of 3 kind of Doctors. I mean, Paul McGann is still a feasible person because he, you know, appeared
Yeah.
as recently as 2013. I know that was, Jesus Christ, 7 years ago already. But you know, like because of the war and everything, like he can look older because he was obviously fighting in that for a heck of a time.
I always wondered, you know, because I was thinking about this, like just in terms of like how would you juggle if you put like most of the doctors in there? Maybe instead, because you know, of course, the structure today has just been like one long special or whatever. Maybe they could like do outright like a mini series,
Do like a multiple episodes.
like just have like yeah, it kind of spread out and then maybe come together at the end, but like have a couple of doctors, you know, like do like 5 episodes or like 4 or 5 episodes, and just like have like you know a few doctors focused on per episode, and they all come together in like one final one.
I mean, that would work. That would work indeed. I mean, oh man, like that sounds like such a 100th anniversary. But the issue is you know, when we reach the 100th anniversary,
doctors
even David Tennant will be like, you know, in his 90s by then. I guess he would be, wouldn't he? He'd be
For
super
100?
old.
Well, he's well,
For 100, I mean, we're only near the 60s, so you got to add another 40 years basically onto however old David Tennant is. Which is it's gonna be old 49. So yeah, I was pretty close. He'd basically he'd be in his 90s by the 100th anniversary. And like you know, Matt Smith will be in his 80s. Sadly, I don't think Capaldi would be about anymore.
no.
So you know, Jodie will be you know, old lady. You know, and it's a shame because obviously the 100th is like 100 years is like that would be an awesome thing, like a mini series. But yeah, that's the issue. Like the further you go, like with Doctor Who, the less you can kind of look back in the past.
Yeah. At least in terms of the doctors themselves.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you know, and it's just kind of sad because it's like, yeah, unless you know you get people who look like them and do the David Bradley kind of, who he was fantastic as the first Doctor. It's just a shame that the dialogue was not the first Doctor. Weird.
Yeah, it felt like a very surface level understanding of the first Doctor.
Yeah, it was like it was written for the comedy relief, and it was like
it was just like it felt like somebody had seen a few clips on YouTube of like highlights and gone like, "Oh yes, that's the first Doctor."
The thing is,
we'll write a whole story.
I don't even remember the first Doctor being anything like that. You couldn't show me any clip where the first Doctor's like that. Maybe in an Unearthly Child, where he's a bit like sharp, but he's not like, you know, a smacked bottom and.
He's no.
You need to clean this TARDIS.
I
thought like the fucking Time Lords were so far ahead in civilization. Why is the Doctor so freaking sexist?
I mean I remember a rant when we did our reactions to that. But yeah, it's like they wrote a 60s old man rather than the first Doctor.
Yeah,
right?
A Time Lord from Gallifrey. It was more like a commentary on the time of when the show was made rather than, you know.
Yeah. Then yeah.
Oof. It was a big oof. So, yeah. Who do you think the other two pairings are going to be then for Out of Time?
Ooh. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if they're going to stick with this. Because, again, like I said, if they can't really easily stick with the structure of, like, one old, one new Doctor, unless they get, you know, more
Matt
Doctors
Smith
involved.
Or Capaldi, basically.
Yeah.
I think
or somehow Christopher Eccleston.
It's hardly possible. You know, this
that'd be great.
Lockdown. If they did this during lockdown, Christopher Eccleston's not going to be doing too much.
Although it hasn't been doing, you know, stuff for it. Like they had that whole like all Doctors together thing that he wasn't involved in, like for the NHS.
Oh yeah.
So it's like if he's not going to turn up for that.
Yeah, I know that was a bit of a weird one to not turn up to, or maybe they just didn't contact him. Like maybe he has his own.
We don't know the circumstances. I'm not going to make assumptions.
Yeah,
about,
it's hard to judge because maybe they were just like, "Oh, he won't do it," so they didn't even contact him.
Well, you know, there might be a good reason. Who knows? Like, I'm not going to make assumptions. Any.
I mean, I
way
follow
for
him on
that.
Instagram, and he posts a lot of his own stuff anyway. About circumstances of what's going on. So it's I know that, like, I mean, the BBC is a government-led company, and
Yeah.
obviously he's not very happy with the government at the minute. From especially Dominic Cummings, his trip to Durham. To check if his eyesight was okay. I'm gonna drive a car to check if I can see. The logic in that. Like, imagine if you couldn't see. Why are you driving a vehicle with your kids in the back? Like, isn't that's like basically shooting yourself in the foot? Like,
there are far better ways to test your eyes.
yeah, literally just print out a piece of paper and put it on a wall.
Exactly.
Like, I can't believe it. Like, I'm gonna test my eyes while driving a vehicle. Something that could kill people.
It's nonsense.
Absolutely, like the worst. I feel that might be the worst excuse in human history done by an adult. Like, it's got to be out there with one of the worst.
There are probably worse, but
Is
it's
from politician levels, from someone who should be intelligent levels of dumb. That one was pretty dumb. Yeah, but yeah, I guess yeah. So unlikely Christopher Eccleston, maybe Matt Smith. Again,
maybe
people aren't working at the minute.
It's
like,
difficult
it's
to say because Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, there's no precedent for them with Big Finish currently, so
good time to get involved.
It's difficult to say, and like it wouldn't be as special with like the other Doctors necessarily, because like in terms of Big Finish wise,
they've
like
done loads of crossovers.
4th to 8th, they've all crossed over a ton of times. I mean, not that that means that that won't be like entertaining to see anyway, but that won't be a moment like this, whereas
yeah, I wonder when they're all going to come out then.
Well, the first one's August.
The other one is TBC though, or TBA.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's difficult to say now because Big Finish. I think there was a recent news thing about them like changing the structure of like how they're releasing stuff.
Yeah, digital first, and then CDs will be later because of the whole COVID thing. Oh man, I wish this COVID thing would just gosh darn pass already. But Premier League football's coming back. Hey, anyone who likes football out there. But there's like 16 games a week. Like there's gonna be like 2 on Monday, and like apparently Sky are like showing a load of them for free.
Oh really?
So yeah, I'm gonna watch a shit ton of football. It's gonna like be on in the background while I work because I've missed it. Like I didn't really like realize how much I actually like, because I kind of support Arsenal. I kind of follow them a bit, but like I never really full on. I know, like, I never call myself a crazy fan. I'm not like watching all the transfer news or whatever. I kind of see when it's confirmed and that's it. Maybe a bit of the rumors, but I'm not super like amazing into football.
Despite the fans behind me, I'm pretty similar.
But like,
and my curtains, you can't see my curtains.
But
I used to be a lot more, but
I have like peaks, but this year I kind of got really back into football, especially when Mikel Arteta took over, my boy, as manager, and he's sick. But like, bloody hell, now that there's like been no football for like so long, I've been like, man, and like I'm gutted because it was supposed to be the Euro this year. The Euro, which would have been awesome. I was so ready to just drink cider, sit on the sofa and watch European football. Shame, but hey ho, pandemic, and obviously bigger issues out there.
Indeed. Indeed.
And I wonder, so I guess they're going to do the Euro next year.
Yeah.
But then are they going to then just have a gap and then the World Cup the year after that? Are they going to have to quickly turn that around?
I don't.
Or are they going to push everything by a year? Is it going to mess up everything? Because it will be on odd numbers then, and I won't like it.
I don't think they can stay like that.
I don't like it if it's on odd numbers, because I just remember 2020 was going to be the Euro, 22 is the World Cup, and then it was
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, but
Strange.
I guess we'll have to see.
I mean, this is a whole bloody chapter. We're in the history books, boy.
Yeah.
We lived through this. It's going to be a whole thing. We can see GCSE questions being about COVID and the spread and how, like, governments, dealt with it. And why did it spread so bad in the UK and stuff like that.
I'm going to keep my one-stop social distancing shirt as a historical memorabilia piece.
Yeah, you could sell that. You could sell that in the future. Be like, this is a relic of a pandemic.
Keep to like when I'm 80, find like a museum that's doing like a COVID like exhibit, and just like, hey, do you want this?
That is actually like, I'm sure they would take it. Like, I've been to some weird like exhibitions and museums, and they have the strangest shit. So I'm sure they'd take it. But yeah, I don't have anything actually currently like that. I don't think. No, I just got this spray from work. Some nice hand spray, which is citrusy, very nice.
It's kind of unbranded, so you.
I know. I'll just be like, "This is a." I promise this was during COVID. I promise, guys. This is real.
Hey, I can show you. Like, I put out a YouTube video around that time. You see, if they come and. Oh, YouTube doesn't exist anymore. Okay.
Yeah, you have to. I don't know. You have to pay for ads, actually. That will be... You've got to pay for ads to watch the videos. That's how it's going to change. Something like that.
Oh, goodness. You have to pay per video.
Yeah, pay per video. And then you have to pay
YouTube
extra
subscription
for the ads.
service.
God, it's just so... It's sad how much YouTube has changed over the years. I mean, I get for protection of younger kids. Like, I completely understand that.
I miss old YouTube, though.
Oh, YouTube. It's the new algorithms are just a bit... Like, it only helps, like, the vloggers and the daily uploaders, and it's no way to fucking...
And celebrities
who don't need any more money. So why are they doing it? Like, I get maybe they're bored, and I get, like, I'm not against them for, making videos and making content, because I know that if I was in that position, I love making shit, so I would make stuff. Yeah. But it's like, you don't need to put ad revenue on it. Like, you've got enough money as it is. You don't need an extra, like, 2 million a year just from this. Like, I don't know. It's, but I think it's a really unhealthy actual kind of thing of trying to make people upload content every day. It's like you're getting people to film way too much of their lives and put it online for other people to watch. Like daily vloggers. It's not healthy. It's not a healthy lifestyle.
No.
It's too invasive. Like, and it makes people become obsessed of getting subscribers and shit like that, and that wasn't what was important back in the day. It was just putting something that you thought was funny online, or something you cared about, an opinion.
You don't live your life anymore. You like manufacture your life for the sake of a video. And
like YouTube's not even that fulfilling anyway. From like you see people who like end their YouTube channels, they're like, it's not fun anymore. I'm like, hell yeah, I could have told you that. Like, filming your life every day. You see like daily vloggers like take massive breaks, and I'm like, no, of course you want to take a break. And like, I don't know. And then just people pushing merch and stuff, And like, there's like people who do like brilliant content on like, I mean, it's more adult content, like murders and stuff, and murderers, and they like, crime, and they analyze it, and like, just interesting stuff. But they don't get monetized because it's, adult stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there should be like a separate section where these guys do get, ad revenue, because I think it's unfair that these people...
that's why they go to Patreon.
Well, yeah, but like, that's actual people having to give money. But if we're just watching ads on YouTube, that's not us giving any money. That's him getting money from those ad revenue.
The monetized system is...
It's a messed up system. It's not fair, because there's people like that who make really good content, really, strong stuff, basically, and they don't make any money. But then you get people who like, film themselves just going to Starbucks, getting some bubble tea, and no, you can't get bubble tea at Starbucks. But you know what I mean. Like, people who film like the most meaningless days of their lives, and they get like, maybe $100 in one day just from that, and it's like these prankster videos and stuff.
That's died mostly, I think.
There was one guy, but I think he's going to prison also. Like, I can't remember what his name was, But he basically he pretended that his girlfriend died in a car crash, basically, and was trying to get fans. And it was like one like is one prayer for her. Oh, I'm Jay Station, that guy.
Oh, not that guy.
That guy, yeah. And like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
you know, it's why are these guys getting rewarded for like bad shit like that? It's not good. And there's so many bad cases. Jay Aubrey is a fantastic channel. He looks at a lot of these, like the fall of Butch Hartman, the guy who made Fairy Odd Parents.
Yeah,
That's
well,
a
he
good video.
was.
He's a weird guy. Watching that video. But yeah, you know, like it's YouTube's a weird one.
Yeah.
It's changed so much, and I don't think all for the better. I think more for the worse.
Oh, yeah, easily. Again, I really miss old YouTube, like the more free, more creator-driven platforms that we used to have.
Yeah, and it was you know, like I get like you know watch retention. That's important. You know, how long are people watching your videos for? Because obviously like people did loads of people did loads of clickbait and they'd get you know pushed to the top just by
yeah,
the amount
but
of
you know
clicks.
by changing that you kill the animation scene, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
That was
It's tough, isn't it? Because just stuff just doesn't get found anymore. I remember like even big YouTubers, well, like not big, but you know, people who have like thousands of subscribers, their stuff won't even show up in boxes. Like, why did the bell
people
notification?
with millions of subscribers won't show up in boxes.
Why invent the bell notification? Why doesn't it just show up in people's boxes? I don't get it. Like, why do you even have to invent the bell feature?
I don't know.
It makes no sense. It's like this. It's like going from like better to worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a strange one. It's a strange one. It's a strange world. And it's just getting worse. Damn it.
So rate 5 stars and like on my MySpace page, please.
Yeah, the star system. I mean, I prefer like and dislike than the stars, to be fair. But I think that's the only change that I've agreed with.
Yeah.
It's like moving the bloody
I miss
comments.
channel banners. Well, like proper like channel. Like you used to be able to lay out your
The
channel
whole,
with like
yeah.
full. Yeah.
The whole page. They've moved the fucking comments on the app, which is
Oh,
so
yeah, that
awful.
sucked.
I like scroll to the bottom of the page. I'm like, no, gotta scroll back up. Why? Why?
And like, if the first comment is like something spoilery about the video you're about to watch, like you're gonna see that
See it.
immediately, and like,
Ridiculous, isn't it?
yeah.
And it's like, it's especially if you get like these people who get loads of videos, they can't like monitor who's saying what and who's the top comment. Like,
exactly, yeah.
you can't be then, oh, well, it's the content creators, you know, thing. It's like, I'm pretty sure like people just sit at YouTube and they're like, it was fine as it was. So what they're doing, they're like, shit, I actually need to do something at my job. Let's just change this for this reason. Like, not a real reason. Like, it didn't need to be moved. To me, it just strikes me as, you know what? I need to do something in my job. I need to make design changes. So I'm just going to change this for no reason at all. I don't think it's improved anything. Unless you want, I think the only thing maybe is if you want to write a comment while you're still watching the video. I think that's it. But just pause the video, write your comment, or wait until the video ends.
But like, I don't even get doing that, especially if it's like that always frustrates me when people like ask a question about something as the video is happening and it's explained later when they post a comment anyway.
Yeah, just wait to the end to comment.
Yeah.
And then you get that nice watch retention as well, so it works out well. But yeah, oh man, YouTube.
Yeah.
How it's fallen.
If only there was a competitor. Like that's the biggest problem I think, because like YouTube just like got such a monopoly on the video service that it's like.
Well, Twitch has obviously taken over the gaming world.
Oh yeah, just in terms of like, in terms of gameplay content, but like in terms of like actual content creation, home videos, like YouTube's the only place you would go for that, really. I mean, there are other video services, but nothing even close to YouTube. Like, there's no real competition, so YouTube don't have to do anything because, well, nothing's going to happen if they continually screw everyone over because there's so many casual people watching YouTube that are never even going to know about it. So there's never going to be any change because YouTube is more or less free to do whatever it wants whenever it wants.
Yeah. God damn it. Doctor, change YouTube. Please go back in time. Keep MySpace. Stop the Zook. God. I wonder what the universe would be like if Facebook wasn't a thing. I wonder how much effect that would have.
Well, there'd be far less anti-vaxxers.
Yeah. It's strange. I don't get those people. But hey ho.
No.
Yeah, it's weird. The internet is so good for information, but also so bad for wrong information.
Misinformation.
It's like it's such a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy. That's why I only get real news on this channel, where we get our sources from shit the internet. Fuck. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe this out of time doesn't even exist. Maybe Big Finish is all a lie. Oh no, we're actually on Small Finish, the website, which is all about fake.
Don't forget that Aliens in London takes place 10 years after. What was it? After Rose.
Oh, it was.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I can't remember. You said like 12 years or something. Was it?
Yeah,
Not
something.
12 months.
It was. I think I was thinking 12 months, but I said
12 years. I was like 12 years. Oh god. Yeah, 12 months. I mean, that's crazy because that took all place in 2006 then, you know? Mad. It was crazy they kind of did a time jump like that so early in the show.
Yeah.
But there you go. I mean, yeah. I wonder what the rest of Out of Time will be, but I guess we'll talk about that when it's announced.
Yeah.
Not much point
Have it on that
speculating because I think it will most likely be two classic Doctors. It would be awesome if it's enough modern day. Maybe David Tennant has done multiple, but
I mean, one interesting one because they've been doing Big Finish with David Bradley, so they could kind of do it one
Do it
with
first
him,
and-
which is kind of
Yeah.
somewhat counters both. I guess.
I now that he's appeared in series as the Doctor, you know, we always say it was the first Doctor in the 5 Doctors, even though it was Richard Herndl. So you know, it's just how it is. I think it'll be hard to replace, you know, to do the same with maybe a second and third Doctor. Like, they're just so iconic. They're just very particular looking people.
I think they could. I mean, they kind of already replaced They got new actors for An Adventure in Space and Time, even if the third Doctor's one didn't even appear. But
oh yeah. It's a shame they didn't. I'd love to see that. What like behind the scenes of that. But yeah. Oh man. It's so cool knowing all like these alternative scenes are out there somewhere on someone's hard drive. Just don't get to see them. It was cool. I watched a behind the scenes of Joker recently. It was on Warner Brothers. I think they put it up like a month ago. But at one point they put like 9 versions of Phoenix like coming out as the Joker on the show. You know, and he did it completely different every single time. Just like how he came out, you know, and it's awesome to see because there's like, and Todd Phillips was saying like there's like an infinite amount of versions out there because like for every take they did like different stuff. And actually apparently the I forgot to punch out thing was like a on set inspiration where, you know, he came back and like punched the clock a load of times and it falls off the wall. Apparently that was like a in the moment thing. And I mean, and obviously the whole bathroom scene was like, I think I don't know, I think the film gets a lot more like a lot of people are like, I don't know, underplay actually how awesome it is. I think it's a fantastic film.
Yeah,
I know. I see a lot online. It's like, yeah, the plot was fine and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to think how much they did like came up with on day of set. Like that shit's impressive, and his performance is sick as well. Like,
it really is.
It's so frustrating because I'd love to see more of him as the Joker. Like or that kind of version, but like he's not the version which would fight Batman, it's
No.
and like I just love to see him do that role again. Like I don't know why. He was just so awesome as it.
Yeah, it's tricky because it works so well on its
As a
own.
standalone, yeah. And I don't want them to ruin it. But also I
Like I
just
said,
love to see
for
more.
me, I'd like to just see them do like other Batman villains in a similar vein.
Yeah, I think definitely Penguin would be a good one to do.
Good.
Like kind of
I'd really like Scarecrow.
Scarecrow could also work. But a bit more I've just the more grounded ones. I mean, even the Riddler would be an interesting one. I think there's a lot you could do.
Mr. Freeze as well.
That Mr. Freeze starts to go a bit more sci-fi, like the whole like being frozen. I mean, like the point of a Joker is he is it's very grounded. It's very grounded.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really works
Yeah.
with this is how grounded it was. I think having like the Penguin would work quite well because obviously he's more just bodily disfigure. I mean, they did it fantastically with Danny DeVito back in Batman Returns. And, like that whole thing was fantastic. But like, I think just more the human based ones. Maybe leave Catwoman for a bit due to the track record of films.
I mean, to be fair, the Halle Berry movie was so long ago now.
Yeah, to be fair, it's just infamously bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you could do that. It could do quite well. I'm trying to think of like other ones who would work quite well. See, I think Riddler would be, like he's more like mystery and like why would someone be that obsessed with riddles like that kind of, and that's what they we're talking about with the character, and it is something I think that they should do a bit more with kind of, I guess, Doctor Who villains to try and link it back in. But like think more about not just they're bad and evil and they're doing like what do they want, because I think recently actually kind of when I was thinking about it, every time they actually kind of delve into a creature's background and what they want, it's usually it's not so bad what they want after all, like we're not understanding them.
They killed a few people.
Yeah,
but you don't understand. It needed to do it.
It's because we were scaring it. It's our fault, not and it's always kind of that like a misunderstanding. But I think they need to kind of have like, you completely understand why Arthur does what he does in Joker. He's shat on by the world consistently. And it's one bad day, to quote the kind of comics, all it takes is one bad day. And, and that's why he has the gun, because he got beat up by those guys. So then that's why he shoots the guys at the train station, on the tube. And, it's like, it all builds up, doesn't it? I need to watch it again, actually. I need to see it. So good. And yeah, it's like that kind of background thing I think is so important when it comes to a villain, to really understand their motivations. And it would be interesting, like obviously with the Penguin, he'd be like shunned for how he looks, basically. So revenge acts, maybe like kind of, you could follow the same ish, I think, lines of how they did it.
I think the Penguin, it was always like the rivalry between the Cobblepots and the Pennyworths.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be good. And yeah, I guess you could still set it in the same Gotham, like the Joker could still exist. Like what Arthur did could still have happened. We don't see him or anything, but he's still in that universe. They could talk about the riots and stuff. Maybe like Penguin is part of the solution. Maybe he starts kind of fixing Gotham, and then suddenly has enough, gets shunned or something, and snaps,
Yeah.
That could be something interesting. Or like with the Riddler, why is this like, it could be something from a childhood. Why is he obsessed with like riddles and mystery and this kind of, and what would he do? What kind of misconceptions? Because what they did with the Joker, the Joker's always been so ambiguous, the background. So it was awesome. And I think now that people would be more open to just rewriting an origin story of a character, because it doesn't matter in this universe. Bruce Wayne is a kid, So either way, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not going to be Batman time anyway. And I think this is the right time anyway. It should be, all the villains rise up, and that's when Batman then comes in, and
Yeah.
But I don't even think we need to see Batman in this universe. I think you
No.
just have the villain verse, and just have all these interesting villains, and some could cross over. A bit like Gotham the series, I guess, but because that's always before Batman basically, but
Yeah.
just not so whimsical with more grounded and dark. But yeah, I think looking and that's I guess the issue when you have you don't dedicate episodes to villains, I guess, in Doctor Who.
No.
And maybe they should do that. Maybe they should try something
Yeah.
where you focus it, just an episode with the
Yeah,
Master,
that.
or just an episode with the Cybermen, or you're following the villain, so you get a better understanding of what the hell's going on
Yeah.
and why it's even more important to defeat them.
Yes.
There's some really cool stuff you can do, which I don't think they've ever really tried. There's a lot of things that they could
Really? No.
because it seems like every single series it's same old. Let's throw the rule book away. Like having a female doctor was barely even a rule. We knew it was going to happen. It was guaranteed going to happen. At some point, and it happened, and that was like the biggest rule break that they've done. And I think that they need to try some more crazy stuff, like Doctor Light episodes. That was a new thing. I actually kind of missed those. I really enjoyed Doctor Light episodes. I thought it was a great either companion piece or, like Elton in Love and Monsters. It's like, I actually look back on that one kind of more fondly now. I know the Absorbloff's a bit naff to look at, but actually the story as a whole is actually really interesting, and kind of like the scars the Doctor can leave on people's lives. Like this kid saw him and, never got any answers, and then became obsessed with him like his whole life.
Yeah.
Cool shit. Doing an episode with just the Doctor, like Heaven Sent. It shows that like when they actually do take these risks, it works. I think if you did an episode just following the Master, that would be kind of different, wouldn't it? Like it would get people talking. Or an episode.
Again, yeah. We got hints of what that could be with Big Finish, but
Exactly. I mean, it clearly works. They've done multiple series. It clearly sells.
yeah,
And
no, the War Master's excellent. Actually, it really is.
and that's the thing. It's like
It's like kind of a twisted version of Doctor Who. So you're coming to a circumstance, and like people need the help, and whereas the Doctor would usually go along and help, the Master will do whatever for his own gain.
yeah. That's the
Instead.
really interesting thing, because wouldn't that be fun to see on screen? Like
Yeah.
you're watching this guy go on an adventure. You could even start it in his TARDIS, him landing somewhere, discovering where he is, and doing like mirroring what the Doctor does, but just doing the opposite. And that'd be fantastic to see on screen. Like it would be awesome.
It would.
But like also like a mission to the unknown. They did do it back
Yeah.
in the day for an episode.
It did.
And it got people hyped for, Dalek Master Plan, because then they had to wait 4 weeks for that to come about. So,
Yeah. That's the problem with only having 10 episodes. You don't really get the leeway to do that stuff.
yeah.
Like, they did it back... Yeah, they did it when they had more episodes because, so they didn't necessarily have to have the Doctor there all the time. You could give...
I think, and I think that's what next showrunner needs to push for is more episodes. I think the BBC would happily be like, more episodes.
Yeah.
Because it's more millions of viewers watching the show every week,
Unless it was their mandate that they wanted to cut the budget.
I don't think so, though. It's one of... I read somewhere, whether it's true or not, but like the BBC would actually much prefer them to make more episodes than they are. So who knows? It'd be interesting to see actually how they do work their like production schedule, how efficient they really are. It's interesting to see, because how can you go from 13 episodes a year to 10 every year and a half?
Yeah.
When the technology is getting better, like to me, it doesn't. It's strange, and there's barely any. There's not like big freaking explosions every week. You know, it's never anything crazy.
But we needed more time for the CG that doesn't look any better.
Yeah, but I mean, if you know what the CG is going to be, you start that right at the start of production. They can work in the background. You don't. It doesn't matter like when that happens. You know.
Exactly.
And just write it so you don't need as much CG. It like CG really is like not the thread which holds Doctor Who together. It's like a nice extra glitter on top. I don't know what we're making here with thread and glitter, but fuck it. That's my that's my metaphor. So there we go. It's like it's the extra glint on top. Like, you know, classic Doctor Who worked perfectly fine with, you know, sci-fi things and, you know, model work, which I still think they should go back to models in my opinion. But hey ho, models are the best. But anyway, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah,
that's it. We did talk just about Doctor Who. We talked about other shit too, but that's what you get.
Yeah,
that's what you get. YouTube. This is all your fault, YouTube. Oh man, there we go. Right, see you next week if anyone's watching.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.